Glasgow After Dark by Lorraine Montgomery.
I'll never forget how I got started in this business, the case that started it all. I'd been working cases for a few years now at this point, but this case was when my career took a turning point. This one sent me down the path I'm on now. Sit down, take a load off. I'll tell you all about it. To this day, it remains my only unsolved case. That's better. Now this case started about 10 years ago, on a night much like this one. Come in. Mom, you alright? You look very shaken.
My brother!
Not here, I'm afraid.
He's dead. Murdered.
Right. Here, you want one? There. Any better?
A little.
Ah, good. Now that you've calmed down a little, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, Who are you? What brought you here?
My name is Scripps. I need your help. My brother was murdered. The police investigated, but they never found who did it. You have to help me.
Well, this isn't my usual sort of case. I've never investigated a murder before. Normally, it's missing jewels and runaway girlfriends and such.
Will you find the person who killed my brother?
Oh, alright. I'll try. But no promises.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, right. I'll get started then. Now, when your brother was murdered, where was his body found?
In the living room of his house. I have a spare key for the front door. Here, you'll need it.
Thank you. This is the place. The place didn't look as though it'd been a murder there, that's sure. It looked like a normal family living room. Plush carpets, warm lighting, the works. First thing I headed for, the rug. No blood. No trace or sign that anything ever went wrong here. Alright, I thought, the killer obviously did a good job cleaning up here then. There was nothing there, really. No footprints, no blood, no fingerprints, no hair, no skin. Absolutely bugger all. I had nothing else. No clues, no leads, no witnesses. I had to find a clue somewhere. Of course, the police. They were bound to have an autopsy report. So my plan was set. Get an autopsy report and follow the clues from there. Evening, anybody here?
Evening. How can I help? Sam, it's you. Working late, I see.
As always, I was wondering if you could pull a file for me.
Some files, yeah. Others are classified. I'm not getting you any of the classified ones.
That's fine, I'm investigating a murder.
Grim stuff.
Aye. Can you help? I need everything you have about a murder victim named Scripps.
Ah, you're investigating that one.
There a problem?
Did you see the crime scene?
Aye, I saw it. Place was wiped clean. No clues or anything.
That's exactly how we found it too. We haven't touched the place at all. We found absolutely nothing there either. This is everything we have in that case. Take a look for yourself.
This is... Are you certain all this stuff is accurate? Nothing left out?
That's it. All accurate. Down to the last letter.
So you're telling me his body looked as though it'd been eaten? Then how do you know for sure he was murdered?
He looked like he was eaten by a bear.
We don't have bears in Scotland.
Exactly. Nobody could explain it. A man half eaten to death in a spotlessly clean room.
Is it possible the body was moved there?
Couldn't have been. We could barely get it to the morgue without it falling to bits. Couldn't have been moved there. It was far too... whole. And that's a disturbing word to use given what we found.
This isn't possible.
That's what we thought, until we saw this.
I couldn't believe what I held in my hands. I couldn't believe that this was real. How do you eat a body, but leave no blood or traces?
Unbelievable, isn't it?
You mind if I borrow this?
Only if you bring it back.
You know I will. I almost didn't believe what I had read in the case file that night. At the time, I had thought that perhaps I'd misread it. Something was clearly amiss. At this point, the whole investigation started to feel wrong. But my raw curiosity got the better of me. I had to know what was going on. I just had to. And so my work continued. The photos in the autopsy were disturbing. They very clearly showed the teeth marks on the victim. They showed in grisly detail the desecrated body. Those images have never left my mind. But the thing that disturbed me was that the teeth marks were unidentified. First thing I had to do, track down the thing that made those marks. So I tracked down a zoologist who would be able to do the job.
Evening. How may I help you?
My name's Sam Malone. I'm a PI investigating a murder. There's something you could help me with.
I don't know anything about any murders, I'm afraid.
No, nothing like that. I need you to look at some teeth marks and tell me what animal they came from. Seems the victim was partially eaten when the police found him.
Do you have an imprint or pictures of the teeth marks?
Right here.
Now let's see here. Ah, there's a good photo here. Let's just take a close look. This is so strange. I've never seen teeth marks like this before. You're sure they're from teeth?
What else could make those marks?
I've got no idea. But I promise you that I've never seen teeth marks that look like this before. They must be from something else. Some sort of weapon, perhaps?
Perhaps.
These marks don't come from any modern weapon, certainly. I suggest you try the museum. Maybe a piece of their collection's missing.
Thanks for the suggestion. I'll give it a go. It wasn't much, but it was something. The museum was my next stop. I had to track down the source of those marks.
Good morning. How can I help you today?
Do you guys have any pieces missing from any of your exhibits?
Let me get somebody who would actually know. The curator will be down momentarily.
Thanks.
Good morning, sir. How can I help?
Can you tell me if any of your pieces of your collection are missing?
Not as far as I'm aware. Why do you ask, if I may?
I need to find something that would cause marks like these. At first I thought they were teeth marks, but now I'm not so sure. I'm guessing that some sort of old-fashioned weapon could have been used to make those marks. I thought I'd swing by and check here. If a piece is missing, it could be the key to cracking my case.
I don't think these marks were caused by a weapon, sir. I do believe your first guess was right. These are teeth marks.
But what creature has teeth like that?
Have you asked a zoologist?
Already done. This is my next guess. I warn you, this is where the case turned dark and sinister.
Like I said, go back to your first one. There is only one creature that has teeth like these.
What one?
These are human teeth.
That can't be right.
I assure you, these are human teeth marks. Look at the way they curve. They fit a human mouth.
Are you telling me that my victim was cannibalized?
Only partially. Perhaps the meal was interrupted, and that's the only reason there was anything left of the victim to identify.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Was I really chasing after a cannibal? This new nugget of information unnerved me greatly.
Sir? Sir?
Yeah?
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. I just need to get some air. Think over a few things.
Very well. If you need anything else from me, do not hesitate to ask.
Something wasn't right. If those teeth were human, then the autopsy should have said so. I flicked through the pages of the case file once again. The autopsy. Something was off about it. Like it was incomplete. The teeth marks were mentioned, but only as marks with nothing to identify them properly. I ran out of that museum. That sent a shiver down my spine. The officer at the station had told me it was complete. I didn't even know where I should look next. This case was taking darker and darker turns. I got out of that museum and fast. The only place I could think to go from there was to Scripps. Did she even know the truth behind what happened to her brother? If not, it looked like it was my job to tell her. I could not believe I was about to turn up at her door and tell her that some twisted person had eaten her brother. Come on, answer the door.
Yes? it's you. Any developments in the case that I gave you?
What do you know about how your brother died?
Only that his body was found in his living room, and that the room was apparently spotless.
Did you know that he was partially eaten?
No, I didn't know that.
Sorry to bring you news like this. I know it's probably not what you want to hear.
No, that's all right. I'm glad to know the truth at least. Have you any of the leads? Any idea where you should look next?
None, I'm afraid. I wouldn't even begin to know where to look next.
So, you can't solve the case then?
Honestly, I don't think I can. Not unless you can tell me where I can find a cannibal in Glasgow.
No, I couldn't tell you anything like that.
Then for now, I don't think I can solve your case.
Well, thank you for all that you've done. I appreciate you trying.
I'm sorry I couldn't do more to help.
Just finding some of the truth, you've done enough to help me. Thank you for all of your help.
I promise, if I find anything else, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
So that's it. The case that started it all. To date, it's the only one I've never solved. I never did find the person who chewed the face of Scrip's brother. Don't think I ever will. But I tell you now, you ever find anything that points in the right direction with regards to that case, you let me know right away. Yeah?
Is the detective gone?
Yes, he's gone.
Good. Now nobody will find out the truth. That I did it. That I killed your brother. Nobody will ever find out that you
And I.
are the same person.
We left no clues. No trace of what we had done. That's why I hired the detective. To make sure my crime was completely untraceable.
This was Glasgow After Dark by Lorraine Montgomery, starring Raven as Sam Malone, Aileen McIntyre as Scripps, Dark Scripps, the receptionist and the zoologist, and Dale Denton as the officer and the museum curator.